we go underway on this beautiful Friday, let's go ahead and have a moment of silence for drummer Alan White, who drummed for the band Yes and for the artist John Lennon. And also we're gonna have a moment of silence for Depeche Mode keyboardist Andy Fletcher. And also we'll have a moment of silence for actor Ray Liotta. Oh, so I mean, I tell you, all three of these deaths really do affect me. And so anyway, let's go ahead and have a moment of silence before we start. Thank you guys so much for doing that. I tell you, I don't know what is going on these days, but man, those three deaths for sure have been, it's been hitting my feelers. It's not fun seeing our music heroes and acting heroes dies. Hear that they have passed away. Not cool. But anyway, let's bring some positivity. Happy Friday, everyone. Ooh, Memorial Day weekend. Oh yeah. So speaking of Memorial Day weekend, what are you guys gonna do? Well, I don't know about you guys, but my family and I think we're planning on having a little bonfire and a little barbecue. But judging by this weather, I don't know if that's even possible. Well, because of right now, it's about when you're hearing this, it's about 4:15 p.m. here in Greeley, Colorado, and my email just went off not too long ago about uh, uh bleh. So I guess a special weather statement saying there's some strong thunderstorms. So I'm like, hallelujah, bring on the rain. We need the moisture, but there are AccuWeather has also been saying that during the Memorial Day weekend we'll be having some rain. So I don't know. That kind of dampers things. I really want that bonfire started, have some barbecue. And of course, we have like little Christmas lights on the patio roof. So I'm always hoping we could plug those in at night time and just hang out and have a good time. But yeah, but right now that's not the case. But I think we're gonna try to go for it regardless. The one thing too, I've been living here in Good Colorado for 30 something years. And I'll tell you what, the weather is just weird. I mean, it really is. I mean, there's one point, oh geez, it was maybe like a couple months, no, about a year. At the time, it was just my older brother, my parents, and I at the time. And there was one time it did snow in June. Oh yeah, and it snowed. And there have been, and a couple of years ago too, we had like a tornado warnings all over the place, and then at night, snow. Yeah, I mean, it's like that. I mean, but of course, this time of the year is only like May 27th, so this is pretty normal. But I tell you what, though, this weather, though, I mean, it's kind of interesting because I know not too long ago we were supposed to have this quote unquote big snowstorm, and we got zero snow, none, zippo. And of course, I tend to believe that the forecasters in Denver are more of a over exaggerating. Oh, Greenland's gonna get 30 inches of snow. And I'm like, oh, right. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'll believe it when I see it. I'll see it when I believe it. I was like, yeah, whatever you say. Yes, but unless you live in the mountains, then absolutely you get 30 inches of snow. But in Greeley, I think the most snow we ever gotten from a storm, really, maybe it's like, oh, I don't know, 18 inches, give or take. But that was great moisture for us, regardless. All right, so as you know, some of you already know, reached out to some of my friends and a lot of my family about my orthopedic appointment. So it turns out I will have to get my left shoulder replaced. It's bad. Pretty much the shoulder is done. So, and judging by the X-ray, like in your shoulder, you have like that ball joint, or like, that ball, right? Well, where that ball's supposed to be in the shoulder, no. It's like a huge space, so shoulder replacement surgery will fix that. However, due to the little bit of numbness I have been feeling in my, shoulder, I have to go and get a muscle shock test, which I don't know. Judging by the way the orthopedist said Judging the way the orthopedist told me was just a bunch of needles stabbing in your arm with electricity, and in my mind, I'm like, "Gee, thanks. I feel so much better already." Of course, I didn't say that to him. No, no, no. I kept it to myself, but yeah, but that's gonna be done most likely in July. So based on the results from that test, if my muscle is okay, great. Let's go for a shoulder replacement surgery. If not, then I didn't ask. I'll find out eventually. I'm just too, um, you know, quack, 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 quack. Didn't even think about. So, me. But also, they were also. I forgot to mention to my friends last night that they were also the orthopedist and his PA were very interested in my left elbow. It's not just my shoulder has been affected by the arthritis. It's also my elbows. And apparently, my left elbow is stuck in place. I can't straighten it out at all. And so I don't know. But their expressions were hilarious. I mean, they were just trying to figure out this elbow, and they were like, you know, expressions, what in the world, or just on their faces. It was fun. I mean, you just had to be there to see it, but it was funny. I actually found it pretty humorous. But anyway, however, my favorite part of out of the whole thing, okay, this is actually funny. So as some of you know, it's like I've had my knees replaced, and that was a long road of recovery. I mean, just going through all that mumbo jumbo, and which I have no regrets because going through all that, I'm walking again like it's nothing. And so basically, by the way, that's my chair. Um, what was that? Haha. So anyway, and during those times, I've heard you are the worst case I've seen, or you're too young for this. I keep hearing that. Of course, the first one was, "You're too young to be having these issues," and I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, tell me something I don't know, or I haven't heard. I'm used to it, so I'm like, you just got annoying for a while, but not really. And then, my favorite part is he looks right. Okay, the orthopedist, he looks me right in the eyes. And I'm looking right back at him, and he goes, "You are the worst case I've ever seen." Oh no, actually, it's more. I think in other words too, it's like yeah, pretty much. It's the worst case I've ever seen. And the orthopedist doesn't like he uses humor, but he doesn't really, attentive to it. So I kind of, get my mouth shut. But in my mind, I responded with, "Thank you." Yeah, I seriously, I took that as a compliment. I don't know why. I think I take it as a compliment because I've heard this for so many times now where I'm just like, "Oh, thank you." That's it's my best work. You're the worst case I've ever seen. Oh, thank you. Thank you for saying that. I appreciate that. I don't mean it in a mean way. I took that as a compliment out of everything. Considering with everything I've been through, it's just humor has just been really good for me. And just, I'm glad I didn't say thank you because I'm pretty sure the orthopedist would not be happy. He wouldn't take it too well. So I just kept to myself. But I had to bite my tongue, but I'm immediately said in my mind, "Oh, thank you." But yeah, it was a compliment in some ways. But that was just my favorite part. It's just going through everything with my knees, I just started to take that as a compliment. So that's fine. I'll take that with pride. I mean, I wasn't a perfect child either, but I'm not sharing stories on that. So, but anyway, um, other than that, I'll be okay, I think. As long as we could get this shock test going, and which I believe will be in July, and then based on the based on if my muscle reacts, and surgery bound people, which means I didn't think about this till I don't know, late last night when I should have been sleeping. Excuse me. Which so this technically means that the Alice Cooper concert is in limbo. I'm a little sour about that because every time he shows up in Colorado, something always happens. 2 days after finding out that Alice Cooper was going to be at the Budweiser Event Center, my shoulder gave out. It was done. And then, ooh, my surgery. So, with that in mind, I figured if I can get the surgery done, oh, I don't know, maybe like in September-ish, or maybe even after the Alice Cooper concert, we'll be in good shape. Now, speaking of concerts, I guess let's go into music news. Actually, this was actually brought to my attention before I started recording. Actually, it has Toby Mac on Facebook has said that his concert at Red Rocks is sold out. Yep, he's sold out, and I'm not surprised by any means. So, and I decided not to pursue those tickets personally because I kind of just figured with what's going on with my shoulder slash elbow, I pretty much figured, maybe I'll just step out of this one. And I did, but like man, it's like I had no opportunity to see him live and it just didn't work out. Like, well, that's okay. I told Toby on Facebook, it's like, well, just I told him I'll see you live again at some point. Just keep showing up to Colorado. I'll just keep showing up. I'll find a way to show up. Just keep showing up to Colorado. Oh, it'd be even better if he comes back like maybe next year to the Stampede because that will be sold then and there, without doubt. He'll be back to the Stampede. He showed up twice so far at our Stampede, so I don't think I'm gonna have issues of missing him here. So I think he'll show up again. And of course, I guess I don't know what Megan Dolenz is still touring with Felix Cavalier and from the Rascals, and that's great. And they're both doing fantastic. I've been reading the reviews, watching some clips, and it's fantastic stuff. It's great stuff. And yeah, so I'm still waiting on to see what Mickey does, and hopefully there'll be a second leg of the Monkey Celebration tour. And yeah, but anyway, that was the music news, guys. I'm sorry. I'm a little everywhere today. But I think that's the only music news I can report. Oh, duh. As some of you already know, actually, this is a major one. Um, it just crossed my mind. I'm like, oh, duh, I need to mention this. I want to say something about it too. Steven Tyler for Aerosmith, went back to rehab, and really good for him. I mean, seriously, it's like he knew there was a problem, and he put himself first so he can help others. I'm like, you know what? I'm like, just bravo, Steven Tyler. Just bravo. You recognize there was an issue and you went to get help. That's just beautiful. And of course, I don't really like talking about this, but I noticed like on social media that a couple of Aerosmith fans were really bashing him and creating rumors that weren't true. It just I'm not gonna say anything because I don't want to say it because it's just downright rude what they're saying. But it's just like in my mind, I'm like, okay, I get it. Okay, you guys are mad. You guys are upset that Aerosmith canceled their shows at Las Vegas because of Steven Tyler going back to rehab. Okay, from a music perspective, I get it, but at the same time, you should not be acting like this. I'm sorry. And if you're, and I'm like, and of course, I never wrote anything or talked to anyone about this on social media, period. I stay out of drama as much as possible. But anyway, and and I'm like, you know what? If you're really a true fan of the band and you truly care about Steven Tyler, I would think, you'd be actually more appreciative with what the band did and what Steven did instead of bashing him. I mean, it takes guts. That part. Seriously, people, I'm like literally thinking and just thinking and thinking. And I'm like, that's a lot. That's a gutsy move. I mean, I'm serious, it is, but that was the right move. It was within reasons. They didn't have it. The band, Steven didn't have any intention for anybody, but there was the issue that Steven had addressed, and the band recognized that. Steven, God bless his heart, recognized that. And Steven would get help. There's no need to be bashing about it. I'm sorry. I'm gonna stop talking about it, but it drives me nuts. But anyway, Steven Tyler, if you ever hear this, which I don't think you will, but if you do, just want you to know, bravo. I'm proud of you. I wish you nothing but the best. Take care of yourself. And those real Aerosmith fans will just be hanging out and supporting you. So keep fighting. You got this, Stephen, 100%. All right. Well, let's do some shout outs. I'm sorry, people. I'm just, ugh, it just bugs me. It just rolls my eyes. They're like, people speak about things they think they know, but they don't. It's ridiculous. It's inane. It's silly. I mean, it really is. Enough of that. I can go on forever. All right. So let's go to some shout outs. Let's go. The first shout out goes, as always, to my good friend Royce in the house on YouTube. Royce Eddings and his wife Betty are wonderful friends of mine, and Royce is very knowledgeable with music artists. He's a big Jimi Hendrix fan, and he also loves Otis Redding too. Which, by the way, Otis Redding, superb stuff. But anyway, check out his live YouTube show. That's on every Sunday, 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7:30 p.m. Mountain Time, my time, 8:30 p.m. Central Time, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and he, Lou Mars, and Dan McNew, just the facts. He'll get a shout out in a minute. They're doing great, and Michael Nolan from his own show, comes onto Ross's show. It's just great. It's great stuff. I love it. I love the knowledge. I love learning about things about artists that I never realized. So yeah, so check him out. Royce in the house, and excuse me, my guess. Sorry. And yeah, but they're just great people who know a lot, and I enjoy it partially too because it kind of reminds me back like in those music classes at community college. When Lou's talking about certain things, or even when Royce is talking about certain things, or even Michael Nolan, Dan too as well. And I feel like I'm back in those classrooms. It's great. I like it. So check it out. And then, of course, the next shout out goes to my friend Dan McNew. He has a YouTube page called Just the Facts / Ask Dan, and he's a very knowledgeable guy. He and Royce have seen the live music, and what's cool about Dan, he's friends with the late Dimebag Daryl and Vinnie Paul. So yeah, and I think it's cool. He does like the Ride for Dime, and he interviewed people on Dimebag Daryl's on the anniversary of Dimebag Daryl's death, and it was great stuff. I believe he has a bachelor's in video production, and it shows off really well. He makes it look so easy. I'm over here, still trying to learn it. So, but he's doing great. So yeah, check his YouTube page out when you can. And the last shout out goes to my sister-in-law Stephanie. She has a Facebook and TikTok business called Luca and Lily Boutique. So I remember play. Sorry guys, I'm trying to think here. Don't mind me. I saw like that a lot more these days, so bear with me here. And so I'm trying to think here. So Father's Day. So I'm betting she is here in Father's Day. That's in June, definitely in June next month. So yeah, but other than that, she's very creative with her with all of her projects, and I'm very proud of her. She's really building herself up well. So go and take a look on Facebook and TikTok, Luca and Lily Boutique. Oh, right. Well, before we talk about this band, all I have to say is we're going to the 90s. And okay, and what I really liked about like the 90s is that it was definitely a great period of time for different bands and artists to emerge. I mean, yeah, okay, a lot of it was pop. Okay, yes, okay. And yes, if anybody really wants to know, I was a Hanson fan all the way, and quit laughing. I know that at some point, every time I mention, this is true, this is a sheer fact. Every time I mention somebody, oh yeah, I was a big Hanson fan back in that day, they'll laugh at me. So I know somewhere out there, someone just laughed. Okay, yes, I was. All right, and I really liked them too because man, their music. I mean, not just that bop. No, no, no. No, no, no. If I really want to annoy somebody, I'll play that song. But no, but anyway, they're on that list, but lost somebody on my list, but I'll talk about it some other time. But there's a band that, and really it was a lot of pop up, but there were really good bands out there, not just Hanson. I mean, there was what Sugar Ray was good, Offspring. Oh geez. Just yeah, man, now I'm gonna look it up on I'm not going to because I'm you know what? That'll be a good show segment sometime. I might have to go into that. But anyway, so my point is that 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 90s was a great era for bands. I'm like, because there were different kind of bands who were, of course, you got your boy bands, you got your girl bands, like, and we'll get to that one too, which I found pretty interesting. That I found that whole trend really interesting, actually. But anyway, and yeah, but there's this one band in particular that really blew me away. And this band really set themselves apart from the others. I mean, sure, I mean, in the beginning they were poppy and then towards the end it became more modern, but man, their music was just great. I loved them. I actually followed them a lot actually when they dropped their first record. And they actually, all three members actually um were actually wrote their own songs. And a lot of the songs were really well received. I really liked them, partially because people can relate to that, relate to their lyrics, and so yeah. I mean, that's what I loved about them. It's like one way or the other. When I listened to this band, I always found myself relating to the music. I don't know how it is. I don't know why it is, but there's just something that I've always been drawn to them. And I think it also has to do with their musical style, which I'll talk about. So anyway, without further ado, the band I'm talking about is are yeah, England, British, and their name and the group's name is BBMak. In America, we say Mac, BBMak, but it's really BBMak. And yeah, so pretty much the group consisted of Mark Berry, Christian Burns, and Stephen McNally. They were formed in Liverpool in 1996. They sold over 3 million albums worldwide between 1993 and 2003. Oh my goodness. I mean, yet the way I mean, that says a lot too, especially with that short span. It's like over 3 million albums between 1999 and 2003. That says something right there. And that's how I knew as well that people were affected by their music. And so there, I believe, well, what I'm seeing right from my fades released 4 albums. The first one was back in 2000 called Sooner or Later. Then in 2002, which is probably one of my favorite albums by them, they released that. They released Into Your Head. Then 2019, they released Power Station, and then last year they released the Lost Tapes. Wow. Um, Into Your Head, we're going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about that album because that's probably my favorite album by him of all time. Seriously. And so basically, what's really cool is that, you know, back in, I guess, say like late 90s, early 2000s, there were still like pop bands. And the first album, Sooner or Later, definitely had kept up, stayed within that pop realm. And so, but really, it was really well received because I think people really liked the fact that they were from another country and they knew how to write their songs and they knew how to perform. Oh boy, did I never got to see these guys live. I really wish I did. So their first album, Sooner or Later, is their debut album. It was released on May 16th, 2000 through Telesur and Hollywood Records. It was re-released in the United Kingdom the following year, peaking at number 16 in the UK charts. And what's really cool is like what I kind of realized too, the fan base of BBMak from us at the States to the UK were pretty much the same. They were just well received. It really didn't matter where they went to, what venues they play or what country they were in. They were well received. And I think the reason for that is because they brought their own musical style. I tend to think that, oh geez, how I put it, that they really wanted to go out, like into the music world with a bang. They wanted to show up, say, hey, we're BBMak, we're from United Kingdom, and this is what our music sounds like, enjoy. And that's what they did. So, and I liked it a lot. It really did stay with the pop, and which was okay actually. That was also understandable because during that time, I think in late '90s, mid to late '90s, pop rock bands were the it factor. They really were. And so I think BB Mac showed up at the BB Mac Mock showed up at the right time to perform to perform their music. So the songs, sooner or later, their first hit was Back Here. Now till you're back again, baby. It's a really good song. I really like the harmony on that one. And then so the songs on there is called Back Here, I'm Not in Love. Next Time, I think it was the song Next Time, I believe was also a really good hit by them. Unpredictable, Ghost of You and Me. That is a great song. I like that. The Ghost of You and Me. I Can Tell, Love is Leaving. That's also a really good song on their album Sooner or Later. Love on the Outside, Still on Your Side. Okay, Still on Your Side as well. It's actually one of the songs that was really well received here in the U.S. And yeah, it was great. And then after that, Always, Can't Say Again. And so, what really, I mean, I can't speak for everyone, but what really caught my attention about this band are the factors of how great they sound harmonically. I'm like, I'm serious. I'm like, their vocals. I'd love to show you a video, but YouTube's, can't do that. But so just take my words here. Their vocals are just fantastic, and everything just blends in so nicely. And they played their own instruments, which was even better. Of course, they had a drummer, but that's okay. But they still performed and with their instruments and their voice, with their voices, and it's just incredible. I loved it. I mean, I think they were well aware of how good they were, but I don't think I don't know. I don't think they were aware of how much people really love their music. I think they actually became aware of it, I think, right before the release of their second album. And I think too, the second album in general is probably the best one. I swear. I'll get to that in a moment. But really, their first album, Sooner or Later, just gives people a really strong kick of what this band is and what they can do and what they are capable of. And that was just a great starting point. And then from there, now we're talking about my favorite album, Into Your Head, 2002. Oh my gosh. I cannot tell you how much I love this album. Oh my goodness. The reason why I love this album better than the first one is because they ditched the pop and just stuck with, and they stuck with, oh, they went with, I shall say, this, it's like, yeah, okay, it was still pop, but it wasn't anything compared to the first one. This was more, oh geez, how I say it, more meaningful, more personable, for that matter. I'm like, oh my gosh. The So anyway, the album Into Your Head, it's the second BBMak's second studio album. It was released on 27th of August 2002 by Hollywood Records. It peaked at number 25 in the US, spawning the hit Out of My Heart. The album is an enhanced CD containing regular audio tracks and multimedia computer files. I actually have the record. I think I still have it too. Yeah, I remember buying that record when it came out. And I remember the very first time too when I heard Out of My Heart by them, and I'm just like, oh my goodness. This that's how I knew right off the bat this record is entirely different than the first one. It was just like it was more modern. That's the word. It was more modern. It had more emotions, more feelings, and there were songs that really just touched my heart. And it was also well received by a lot of fans all over the world. And that's where I knew that I think that's where people start really, I mean, absolutely really relate to this band because the lyrics is on all these songs on Into Your Head are just so righteously good. Seriously, check out the album Into Your Head, BBMak. It's on Spotify. You can check it out. I love it. Oh, geez, I might have to listen to it again this weekend. I don't see why not. I've been listening to it a lot lately. So the track list is Out of My Heart, Staring into Space, Get You Get You Through the Night, After All Is Said and Done, Out of Reach, She's Everything, Runaway, Sympathy, I Still Believe, The Beginning. Oh, each track is just has just like I can't explain, just really great songwriting. These guys really hit, in my opinion, hit home run with this record. If you guys really want to understand why I'm feeling like this, check out the record on Spotify. Oh my goodness. But yeah, one of my favorites I can tell you right now too, just by looking at my at the screen what my favorite songs are. I really like this song, I Still Believe. I still believe we can get dun, dun, dun. I really like the harmony in this song. It was like in many ways too, it's more like a serenade. You know, it's just really romantically beautiful. I like Sympathy, and the song Sympathy is a gut wrenching one. It's basically, you know, the singer telling his lover, I don't want your lies, I want nothing to do with you. I don't want your sympathy. I mean, it is a super honest song and it's gut wrenching just the way it's performed. It's unanimous. Runaway's a good one, a gorgeous song, and then Out of Reach. That now the song Out of Reach is undeniably good. That's just and the beat from the drums, unanimous, I tell you, just unanimous. And of course, the title track, Out of My Heart. Oh my gosh. Out of my heart, into your head, inside my heart, there's a place for you. Oh, I just love the harmony of um, how all three voices just blending together. It's just beautiful, people, just gorgeous, gorgeous. I tell you. Of course, the beginning, the last song, the beginning. Oh, yeah, you know, as you know, I'm a male music album reviewer, and so when I listen to music, there are certain songs where it really just it hurts me to listen to. And the beginning, oh, it hurts. And of course, you would think, oh, it's called the beginning. I mean, it's a happy song, right? No, it's not. It's pretty heart wrenching. You again, just listen to the album, you'll understand where I'm coming from when you get to that song. But anyway, yeah, but these guys are just so talented and are extremely gifted. So now going back to their albums, and why is the doorbell ringing? Oh well. Then in 2019, they released the album Power Station. So Power Station is the third studio album by the English band BBMak, released on 11th of October 2019 by Triple Jet Music and Topanga Creek Records. Um, you know what's funny? I do have a confession. I have not listened to this yet, to Power Station yet. I'll get back to you guys. Okay, I promise you. I'll no, it's a 3-day weekend. I can take advantage of it. I'll listen to it. And then the Lost Tapes. You know, I'm not sure. So we'll see here. Never heard of the Lost Tapes by BBMak. Featuring 9 B-sides, The Lost Tapes is a gift from BBMak to fans both old and new who want to explore the hidden treasures of the band's chart-topping catalog. Formed in 1996 by Mark Barry, Christian Burns, and Steve McNally, BBMak was the sound of early 90s boy bands. I wouldn't really call them a boy band. I know they were like a band, but I wouldn't really call them boy band. I don't know. I haven't listened to that either, so I'll get back to you guys on Monday with Power Station and the Lost Tapes. I do not call them a boy band. Sure, there were only three of them, but that is not a like a boy band. When I think of boy band, I think of Backstreet Boys or NSYNC or something along those lines. They're not like that. No, they're not. All right. So without further ado, but yeah. So if you guys have time, check out the albums by him on Spotify. BBMak, capital B, capital B, capital M, lowercase a, lowercase a, lowercase k. BBMak. If I had an English accent, I could easily pull this off, but I can't. So kudos to those who can. But yeah, again, this band was just phenomenal. And in my opinion, they were phenomenal, and I really enjoyed them. I never got to see them live, but I've watched a lot of performances on TV, and they just kicks a lot of rear end performing. But yeah, check them out. You know, let me know what you guys think about BBMak, especially their album Into Your Head. Let me know what y'all think. All right, so I figure we'll close off this topic with some facts about BBMak from 1996 through 2003, and this is from songfacts.com. So here we go. The group's name comes from the members' last names. They added the A in Mak. That's cool. The band writes, plays, and produces their own music, which, by the way, I really liked about them. I really did. All the members of BBMak admit they can dance. They were first introduced in Asia in their native UK before coming to the States. So they're almost like a Beatles thing. You know, it's like they were popular. They were popular in other areas before coming to the States. That's cool. All members were born in Northern England. Christian Burns and Steve McNally were born in Liverpool, and Mark Berry was born in Manchester. Christian was born on January 18th, day before mine, 1974, which will make him the oldest. Mark was born October 26, 1978, and Steve was born July 4th, 1978. All the band members of BBMak consider, let's just check this out, considered the Beatles a major inspiration. Christian's dad, Tony Burns, opened for the Beatles when he was in a rock and roll band called The Signs. According to Steve, he is distantly related to Ringo Starr of the Beatles. His dad's cousin was Ringo's first wife. Wow, there you go. Now there you go, Beatles fans. So yeah, so somebody knows somebody. That's cool. All of the members used to be in different bands until auditions were held, and they kept seeing each other. They have a ritual before every show. Christian puts his fist out and says B. And Mark puts his fist out and says B, and Steve puts out his fist and says Mac. That's cool. According to Steve, he is distantly related to Ringo Starr of the Beatles. His dad, yeah, okay, we did that, but his dad's cousin was Ringo's first wife. Okay. Why did you repeat? I don't know. Mark was trained to be a fireman before joining the band. Steve was working as a security guard and used to be an engineer. Christian had a series of jobs straight out of high school. He worked as a car salesman, a door-to-door salesman, and he was a baker. He initially wanted to be a chef, but he thought about all the hours he'd be working. In 2003, they broke up to pursue individual endeavors. The members have been reportedly battling with their record label, Hollywood Records, for barely promoting their 2002 sophomore album, Into Your Head. BBMak released only one single from the album. Yeah, they did, and that is really unfortunate too. That Hollywood Records was being a not very nice. And so yeah, and it's true. Into Your Head, the title track, was the only hit song off that record, which was again really unfortunate because all those songs are so righteously good. Seriously, check it out, people. Into Your Head, BBMak. All right, so I'm gonna leave you guys with that, just a little fun one today. I sincerely hope you guys have a beautiful, absolutely beautiful and gorgeous Memorial Day weekend. I'll be back on Monday with another episode, and yeah, we'll go from there. As always, stay safe, stay healthy, try to be kind. The way this world is turning out these days, kind is probably the best thing you can do. All right, take care, guys. Be good to one another, and I'll catch you guys Monday. Bye.